it's a product launch. It's like when a launch a rocket. It could explode for all you know. While we're waiting for that, and I know what comes next, so I made it. But what we wanted to give you a quick background about as we go through the sequence, like I said, right? Understand how the world around us has been changing. Understand how technology has been impacting our lives, and understand why it is critical now to look at one of the most core problems, which unfortunately has been unaddressed for a pretty long time. I'm sure you all would be hearing about this. Every speaker who comes to this podium would be focusing on how technology is rapidly evolving, right? And it's evolving without you guys even realizing, right? Your interface with technology has changed drastically. You don't even realize it. There's a smartwatch in your wrist, right, which is capturing all your critical data about how you live, how you walk, how you sleep, everything. The divide between technology and humans has almost been eliminated. Technology is evolving at a breakneck speed as of today. So, unfortunately, also are the demands from your production. Every day there is some new sort of chaos, right? Lead times are shrinking, styles are changing, more value additions in the processes, change my order in the midst of production, orders getting split. There's a lot of chaos that is happening on your shop floor today, on your day-to-day life, in your businesses. It's not only technology that is evolving fast. The demand from your production is also changing rapidly. Some of the delays, some of the variations that we talked about, which today impact your business, cause a dollar impact to your business. It just doesn't cause discomfort. It causes a dollar impact. This, either you make more money or you lose money on your day-to-day production flow. All of these changes, all of these variations that happen today. Unfortunately today, the planners, the ones who hold the most important KPI for your business, which is on time in full, they unfortunately are left to just react. All they're doing is collecting updates, Excel sheets, reaching out to people to figure out where is my order at, what is the status. But at some point this has to stop, right? For the last approximately 7 months, we've been working with about 11, 12 of some of the best planners in Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Colombia, trying to understand what are their day-to-day problems, trying to understand what is it that is causing the most disruption in terms of them being able to achieve their core KPIs. And there's one common complaint that we've always, almost every time come across. We just can't keep reacting. We're not data entry operators. Our job is not to get update from someone and put that update in another system. They realize that planning as a process, not just the planning, but the planning tool, needs to have advanced visibility of what's happening on the shop floor. If not advanced, at least at real-time basis. They want to be able to anticipate changes happening in their production flow so that they can plan for it, so that they have room to make sure that the impact to your business is as minimum as possible. Changes will happen. There will be chaos in the production flow. All the planning system tools people need is that the data needs to come to them as soon as possible so that they can anticipate this, plan better. Which brings us to our core story. Your business as manufacturers needs 2 heroes. Just 2 heroes. One is already there. He's already there in your factory. But what he needs is the most important piece that we look to bring to this industry as of today, 15th May 2024. Well, that didn't land, right? Let them figure this piece out. that's, by the way, what a perfect plan looks like. It's perfect until we meet the actual scenario when things get low.
Every day starts in chaos with outdated tools, endless emails, and constant demands to keep track of production. With data scattered across multiple screens and departments, planners juggle multiple follow-ups, manage overloaded schedules, trying to keep things on track. Take back control with Planet, your next-gen planning solution. Incredibly easy to use. Imagine setting it up in a few clicks. Saves the planner hours daily, freeing up time to focus on what they do best, planning. Set up multiple TNA template and assign tasks directly to the stakeholders. Identify delays in advance with the inbuilt critical path running your every decision. With Planet, planners regain control, focusing on what they do best, planning and optimizing capacity utilization. With Planet, they supercharge your production plan, adjusting and allocating orders based on capacity, learning curves, available manpower. Integrated with our Track It tool, Planet recalibrates your line plan to align with real-time shop floor data, all in a single click. No more manual replanning. Gain insights instantly. Real-time analytics drive decisions. Drive collaboration across multiple teams. No more chasing updates. Chase the best plan with Planet. Welcome to the future of planning that works for you.
The last line that you heard, right? Plan that works for you. That's not a marketing gimmick, right? It's actually what we set out when we were building the first version of the product, or when we were at the drawing board, or what the planning product needed to do. Because today, unfortunately, in our manufacturing setup, the planner, all he does, he's chasing updates, trying to get to know information as soon as possible, rather than focusing on what his core skill set is, which is creating the best plan. Our vision, our job, when we were on the drawing board, was to figure out a product that is so simple, intuitive, and should be able to be deployed in a few clicks, that all it does is reduces the planner's workload. That was the core KPI, the North Star as we call it, right? The product should handle all the non-value added activities, whereas the planner focuses on creating the best plan. That was the first North Star. The second piece that we wanted, and this is something that we at Solvei8 very, very strongly believe in, the product and the user experience has to be merged in a way that the user does not have to think twice. For him, engaging with the product or utilizing the product has to be as seamless as possible, so that it feels as if the product is actually thinking for you. These are the three core principles that I talked about. The last one is pretty interesting. In any of our businesses as manufacturers, you're not working with just one technology. You have multiple softwares in play. Any software today cannot sit in isolation. It has to seamlessly talk to other systems out there. It could be your ERPs, it could be any sort of tool that you have to record your data, so that you have a single window view of your operation, which is also very critical because that ensures that the product sits like it really belongs on your shop floor. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you some glimpses of the product, but I'm going to focus on the three core areas which are most critical in your planning process. In the following sequence, we would pick up on the DNA calendar, which basically gives you a top-level view of where your order is at, what status is it at, and what all steps you need to take to get to your ex-factory date. We will then get into capacity utilization, which is a core KPI of businesses, merchandising teams looking to understand, are they overbooking or underbooking their capacity. Then we will look at your line level plan, which is basically handling your factory allocation, all the orders running on your lines, and how we've looked at innovating all of these three processes. None of this is new. DNA calendars exist today. HL boards to manage factory capacity exist today. Line level boards exist today, they all do. But how do we change the way we engage with these products, or how do the products add value for the same processes to ensure that the planner's job gets easier and you are able to execute your best plan on the shop floor? That's what we're going to run you through. First step, one of the most critical features which is there to make the planner's job much easier is the dynamic critical path. Every decision from your TNA calendar perspective has been built, or the structure of the system has been built in such a way that your planner is able to anticipate any change, which means he has visibility of any variation that is happening versus the time and action calendar, and is able to take decisions to resolve them just in time, so that there's no further delay, right? Now this is done with an inbuilt dynamic, with an inbuilt critical path. Second, most critical piece, today on the time and action calendar, the planner unfortunately is just chasing emails with 20-25 different stakeholders in the organization. He's just chasing them for updates so that he knows that basis the time and action calendar that I had prepared, what is the status of this current step, where is it? Is it complete, is it not complete? What we're going to show you is how we've disrupted that whole process, redistributed the whole effort to the stakeholders themselves, where they, with their own mobile apps, can update the activity that they were responsible for. So now all the planner needs to do is keep his eyes on the critical activities that the DNA calendar highlights, so that he is only solving for ensuring that your order is shipped out right on time. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you a quick video. For the purposes of this conversation, because we couldn't do a split screen, we've superimposed a mobile app. We've got a merchandiser who's looking at this mobile app at the steps that that are currently overdue, the top left corner here. And we're going to show you how he's going to engage with the product so that the DNA calendar is updated basis his interaction, right? He went to this step, he's realized, yes, this activity is completed. He clicks on yes, confirm, and for the master planner, that task is done. This is nothing very complex, it's very simple. I'm not showing something which is out of the world, but this very simple step ensures a planner today sitting, managing 20, 30, 40 orders, running simultaneously, does not have to keep up with 30, 40 email chains. The tasks are automatically assigned to individual stakeholders. They go back, they have a very clean view of what tasks are overdue, what has to be done today, what are the upcoming tasks. They can push updates via their mobile app, and the planner will keep his eye only on the activities that might cause a delay. It's as simple as that. The next step, which is something that most of the businesses, your senior leadership and merchandisers always keep an eye on, is keeping a track of their capacity utilization. Now this could be provisional orders, these could be confirmed orders. It is today their single window view of knowing how are their factories booked for the next 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 9 weeks, whatever that timeline looks like. What we wanted to do here, and what we want to show you in a bit, is how do we get you the most up-to-date information about your capacity utilization right up to you as soon as possible, right? So that when you look at your HL board, when you look at your capacity board, your group level board, you know exactly what is the most accurate number of your installed versus allocated capacity. This solves for two things. And with this data, you can confidently take a decision of if you're underbooked, then I should go get more orders for my factory. If you're overbooked, you can immediately start figuring out how do I handle this extra capacity that I have booked so that you are able to execute it on time and not miss out on those orders. And this does not require any complexity. There is no magic in the system here. The whole play is how to get you the most accurate information as soon as possible, right? So if you see here, it's a simple view. It's showing you factory-wise. On the left-hand side column, you have the different factories. It's showing you your installed versus allocated capacity. So if you see April 2024, it's showing you that my installed capacity was 9,600 hours, against which I've allocated 11,800 hours. Now this is a red flag for the business. Now he knows immediately two steps need to be taken. Either I move that capacity to another factory, which in this case, it's not possible. The second factory is also overbooked. Or, in the same scenario, should I figure out a way to add more lines or move this order to another factory or talk to the brand and see if this can be delayed so that I don't over-promise when I will not be able to deliver against the deadline committed. It's as simple as that. The only thing that we're disrupting is trying to give him the most accurate information, most accurate view of his actual capacity at any given moment of time. Next piece, third piece, and I'm almost out of time, so I'll keep this as brief as possible. But this is where the magic truly happens for the planner. This is where the planner spends most of his time looking to understand what is happening to the orders that is allocated to the factory at a line level. With Planet, what we're looking to do is help the planner have the most clear view of his line plans and also give him some tools, which we're going to show you in a bit, to actually ensure that he is able to execute the best plan that he created, keeping in mind all the unforeseen delays. The delays are not going to go away. The objective is to give him enough heads up as soon as possible so that he can possibly reduce the impact of those delays and make sure that his core KPI, on time in full, is met. One of the cool features that we picked out, since we've already had a shop floor production tracking system, what we did was we ensured that the tracking tool that we have in 117, 120 factories out there, the planning tool should seamlessly talk to that, and it should automatically recalibrate my line level plan based on actual on-floor data. No more daily production reports being sent at the end of the day to the planner. No more planner getting in first thing, opening 30 Excel sheets and updating the plan. All of this needs to happen seamlessly. And why, I'll show you in a second. This is a very simplified view. I'm sure in a factory when you run this, there'll be 15, 20 lines, but this is just for this presentation purposes. Now you can clearly see the first two lines they're running late. I go click that. I can choose to recalibrate on actuals, and my line level plan shows me the actual impact today. Right? It actually shows me that basis on the shop floor data that I last received, my order running in line number 1 is going to be delayed further because sewing, for example, has fallen behind. This ensures that now the planner, in the nick of time, knows exactly what is happening with his order, and he can now figure out how do I solve this. The tools of the trade to solve for this are very simple. Everything that the planner tries to do today manually. We've just made the interface easier. We've just ensured he has all the data in one screen, and we've ensured that he is no longer wasting his time just chasing updates. This data seamlessly needs to move from the shop floor, get reflected here so that he can now figure out, okay, for this order, shall I increase the working hours? Shall I add more operators? And all of that needs to happen in a visual manner for him to be able to see the impact. So for example, in line number, on floor 1, the third line, what we're going to do is we're going to increase the working hours for 2 days. Right? This, the planner is doing to ensure that the order is complete in time. And automatically you see there in the top right, the 2 dotted boxes, showing that overtime has been added, and you saw the strip color changing, which means now this order is running on time. I'm going to show you that again. First step, recalibrate the plan. System will fetch the most up-to-date data from your shop floor. Making sure that you know exactly what is happening on the floor. Right, now he knows there are certain orders running delayed. Now it's time for him to work his magic and figure out how do I solve this. He goes to a particular order, decides to update the working hours, which is overtime, and he is immediately aware that yes, now I'm able to complete this order. All that has happened here, again, and I'm going to repeat this, there is no AI here, there's no machine learning, there's nothing of that sort. This is a simple product built for today's need for the planner to be able to do his job more effectively. We've kept the user interfaces as similar to what the planner is most accustomed to. We've given him all the tools to focus on his core job, core competence, which is creating the best plan. Everything else, the system will do for you. fetching the most up-to-date data from your shop floor, it does that in a jiffy. Helps you figure out whatever changes you made impact on your plan in a second, right? So now the planner has all the tools he needs right in front of him to not only create the best plan, but actually ensure that your business executes on the best plan, which is what the industry needs today. Like I said, take back control of your plans. It's just not enough to create the best plan. It is very critical for you to be able to execute on the plan. And we as technology companies need to help you do that. Without any complication, a simple product which helps you execute your best plans on your shop floor today. And that's all. I believe I overran for 4 minutes, but do you guys mind if I take a few questions? Any questions, queries? I can even come down and have a chat if someone wants to have or throw a question at me or see something. So.